So I am actually the principal had her baby today. She did. And she's supposed to be out until Thanksgiving, but I'd say that's going to be more like October 1st because she's a worker, and I'm thankful. But I was flipping through, and I don't want to steal Brody's thunder because, well, it's his thunder. But I was flipping through the packet and some of what you guys are going to talk about, and it made me remember. So I got into education because I wanted to coach. I like sports, and I was like, that's what I want to do. Well, unfortunately, you had to get the teaching degree to do that. So I did. I struggled through it, got a PE degree. But in the middle of, and listen, it was fun. Brody used to, some of you probably were not here because you look young, but he used to have required staff developments, and you were required to come to home football games. It's a true story, isn't it? I mean, they'd pack the stands, be dressed up, and we had some fun times. But one morning, as I was reading the Bible, and just doing my study, and I was starting at the beginning. It was like in January, and I was going to read through, and I'm reading in Genesis, and I get over there and I read that God put Adam in the garden to tend it. And I was like, what? Now, wait a minute. I've not got to the fall of man yet. I've not got to sin yet. Why is he working? Like, I was going to go to heaven and lay under a big fig tree and eat strawberries that you had to carry on a big pole and do all those things. And then God spoke to me real clear, and he said, oh, no, to work is godly. And if you're going to be close to God, you've got to work and be that person for God. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't so much interested in coaching as I was interested in working. And working for children, being on time for work, dressing correctly for work. This all come from a thrift store, y'all, by the way. That's a true story. You can ask my wife. It don't take a lot to dress nice. But I'm saying all that to say there are a lot of ways to represent God before children, and the way that you do, the way you treat those that work. And listen, nobody works for me. I work for them, and I do not cross any of them. I promise you that. Because that is to be godly, to serve others, to be on time for work, to do your best at work. And I know Brody's going to cover some of that, but my experience as Pinwheel has been a model of that for our children. And I could talk about academics, and some of the teachers could share they're data freaks, and they can tell you all the growth and the amazing things that the kids coming out of Pinwheel has been able to do. But I'll tell you this. One of the things that's dear to all of our hearts at Andrews Elementary is that hierarchy of needs. If you've ever seen that chart, that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if kids are not safe and they're not loved and they're not cared for, they're not going to learn. That's the last thing on their list of needs. And so what Little was saying is Pinwheel provides that for a lot of kids. And sure, we try, but we've got limitations, big classes, other things, and Pinwheel steps in and fills that gap in the best of ways. And so for that, and on behalf of the elementary school, I say thank you for being that person for these kids.